handwritten autobiography of Patricia Joyce Hurst, my nanny or grandma, who was born on the 16th of February 1918, is now being read by me, Dawn, her granddaughter. This Patricia Joyce Hurst is my nan, and this is my granddad, Philip. And here is me, Dawn, with Grandad and Nanny many years ago. Phil said he would buy a new motorbike or get married that year. Next thing, he'd bought a new bike. He only had the bike 2 or 3 weeks when, leaving me one Saturday evening about 10:30 p.m, just after the phone rang. A message from St Stephen's Hospital. Phil had an accident, a head-on collision with another motorbike, and he was in hospital. They said he could come home if I could come and get him. Dad and I went, and what a mess. His poor face, and also his arm and hand. He had to stay the night with us. The police let his mother know. The bike was a write-off, so we did get married in June the 4th, 1938. We had hoped to buy a flat, then £300 and £50 down in our day. But we couldn't get a mortgage and didn't know why they would not let us have it. But a week before our wedding, we knew why. Phil suddenly lost his job as they said there was no work and they had to cut down on staff. We had a lovely time shopping for our new home. We both seemed to like the same things. In the window of a shop in North End Road, we saw a green 3-piece suite and a light wood dining room suite. They went lovely together. And we both liked them, so Phil went in and bought them. They put them by until we were married. Also, Phil bought a dark wood bedroom suite and bed. It was just what we wanted. Now we had to find a flat to put them in. I put by a bale of bed linen and blanket, 4 sheets, 4 pillowcases, a bedspread and an eiderdown. I paid so much a week for it, and when it was paid for, I had 2 bedspreads, not 1. All gold. I still have a lot of green and gold in my home to this day. Trying to get our wedding banns read was not so easy. Phil's priest did not want to marry us in his church, and my vicar didn't want to marry us in his church. So off we went to Kensington Registry Office. We had the banns called there for 3 weeks. June the 4th, 1938 was to be our wedding day. We found a small open flat, 2 rooms and a kitchen on the landing over a baker's in Hartfield Road, number 96 in Wimbledon. We moved in 2 days before our wedding. We had a lot of nice presents. My mum and dad gave us a radiogram. Phil's mum and dad gave us a dark wood dining room suite. They had to keep it for us as we didn't have room for it. Anne and Harry gave us a fender with green box sets. Albie and Flo a fireside rug in gold. Ron gave us money. Uncle Will gave us a bone china tea set for 24 people and a teapot. My cousin Lily, who we used to stay with on holiday, made my trousseau in silk. It was lovely. Auntie Fan Yateman a lovely windmill from Holland. Phil's brother Jim gave us carving sets, knives and forks. His brothers a dinner set. Phil's gran gave us a clock. From work we had cutlery and a bedside clock. Harry, Tom and Jerry an ashtray on a stand. I still have it in our study. The gifts from my friends, one a bread bin and the other 2 rose bowls. The only 2 things I had alike, both green, but one big and one small. As Phil had lost his job, we didn't have a honeymoon until a year later. I had a grey suit, which would have been my going away suit if I'd been married in a church. Never mind. I did go to London West End to get my hat, a shop in Shaftesbury Avenue that made only one of each hat. It was really nice. It was in blue off the face, just right for me. I had blue shoes, a handbag and gloves, all to match, and a lovely buttonhole. Just before my wedding, I was poisoned with fish. It came out all over my face, a big rash. I went to the doctors with my tale of woe, but all was cleared up in time for my big day. The sun came out all day. It was a really happy time. We went back to our flat in the evening with the rest of our wedding cake and some of the eats left over. I had a week off, so we went out for days, and a year after we went to Lowesworth Cove for a week and stayed in a village inn. We had a great time at Lowesworth Cave, but I wouldn't have liked it for our honeymoon. It had twin beds. We had only been in our flat a few weeks when Phil got a new job. Then we saw our landlady. She was taking her good beds, tables and chairs out, and old ones were suddenly coming in. We were wondering what was going on. We were soon to know. When we came home from work on that evening, a letter was in our door to say they had not paid their rent. They were coming next day to take their home, as they were not going to let ours. We would have to go too. Phil went down to his mum's to see if she knew anyone who could help us. Phil's mum had a friend with a van who would move us out at 5 in the morning. My mum and dad came to help too. Someone had a flat in Collier's Wood we could have. Next morning they were all there to help us. What people must have thought if awake, I don't know. When I saw the flat, I loved it at once. It had a sitting room, dining room, bedroom and a kitchen and a lovely bathroom. It was self-contained, a door at the bottom of the stairs. It was twice as much money, but Phil was now working, so it didn't matter, so all was well. By 7 o'clock we were moved in. Now we could have our own wedding present that Phil's mum and dad had given us, just right for the dining room. We also had half the garden. Remembering back to the day watching TV after hearing Rock of Ages and Abide With Me being sung, they were 2 of my dear Gran's most loved songs. And again, on my summer's holiday, we went to a lovely garden. It had a lovely bed of pansy. I could hear her saying they were pretty flowers because they had laughing faces. All this time and in this new garden, I often think of my Gran.